For years, the Utah County Republican Party has had automatic or ex officio delegates, which is the awarding of a delegate seat to a public or party office holder. Commonly called an automatic delegate throughout most of Utah, an ex officio delegate is simply a delegate by virtue of another office. For example, your state representative is likely an ex officio delegate by virtue of his or her seat in the state legislature. Not all party or public officials, however, accept an ex officio seat. Representative Jason Chaffetz, notably, refused to accept an automatic delegate seat. In fact, in a letter dated May 4, 2006, State Senators Howard Stevenson and Tom Hatch, along with Republicans Jason Chaffetz and Tim Bridgewater, clearly stated their opposition to automatic or appointed delegates.
In principle, we are opposed to allowing party insiders, the establishment, and others in positions of power being granted additional voting power, and therefore diluting the votes and the will of the people. We recognize that the insider's agenda can, at times, compromise or be in conflict with the best interests of the party.
Another page on the Grassroots GOP Delegates website lists the 78 public and party officials of Utah County who were ex officio state delegates in 2006. That year, 683 state delegate seats were allocated to Utah County. 78 were given to public and party officials, which means that roughly 11% of the state delegates that cycle were not elected by grassroots Republicans in a precinct caucus. Was your precinct shorted a seat in 2010? If you live in one of these precincts, then the answer is yes. That seat went to a public or party elected official. But the state party convention does not permit county parties to scoop seats off the top of their allocations and award them to public and party officials. Article 12 of the state party constitution says the, quote, county party shall designate, based on the relative Republican strength of each precinct, the number of delegates to be elected in each individual caucus meeting, end quote. And because another method of allocation is not specified in the state constitution, no other method of allocation is permitted. We criticize our federal officials when they deviate from the U.S. Constitution without amending it. We should hold ourselves to a similar standard. George Washington famously said, quote, let there be no change in constitutional powers by usurpation, for though this in one instance may be an instrument of good, it is the customary weapon by which free governments are destroyed, end quote. In other words, if we want ex officio delegates, then let's amend the Constitution to allow them, but let's not bend or ignore the Constitution by having them. If a single automatic delegate seat is awarded in a manner other than the method described in the Constitution, then logically, any method of allocation or assignment is permissible. In 2002, for example, the Tooele County Democrat Party selected all of the county state delegates from only one area in the county to gain an unfair advantage in a state Senate race. Following the 2000 census, the legislature had changed the boundaries for Senate District 12 such that two Democratic incumbent senators, Ron Allen and Millie Peterson, found themselves in the same district battling for a single seat. Ron lived in Stansbury Park in Tooele County. Millie lived in West Valley in Salt Lake County. The Tooele Democrats favored Ron Allen, so they set aside all of their seats for delegates in the Stansbury Park area. Let's not be like the Tooele County Democratic Party in 2002. You can read more about this in the newspaper articles referenced at the Grassroots GOP Delegates website. Let's review what our founding fathers said about electors in the Electoral College, electors being analogous to delegates in the Republican Party. The primary role of a delegate is to select individuals as nominees of the party. In this sense, they are electors, and electors must not be beholden to those they may select. The founders articulated this independence of electors saying, quote, each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors, but no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector, end quote. Thus, a person holding an office in the United States could not also be an elector. Proponents believe that automatic delegates are permitted as long as the process is documented in county party rules. But Article 7 of the state party constitution says, referring to county party rules, quote, any provision of those documents that is contrary to state law or to a specific provision of this Constitution is null and void, end quote. At the Utah Republican Party State Nominating Convention on May 13, 2006, delegates considered a constitutional amendment that would have allowed county parties to allocate delegate seats however they wished. Fortunately, delegates opposed this proposal and it did not pass. In its present form, The party constitution then requires that all county and state delegates be allocated to precincts. Seats not filled in precinct caucuses may be filled by the county central committee, and vacancies are filled by appointment by the precinct chair. No other mechanisms are specified or authorized. Control over party affairs and selection of Republican candidates is therefore determined at the lowest grassroots level, the precinct. Several years ago, the Weber County Republican Party eliminated automatic delegates and thus a significant source of contention. Let's keep delegate selection power in the precincts. Let's amend county party rules to comport with state party rules. Let's eliminate ex officio delegates.